I know. But we have to do something.
Are you fucking kidding me?
When is this
Сука,
thing
текста
happening?
Are you
нема.
sure he's coming?
Yes, you'll have an opportunity to...
Да, все возможности. Ну вот вам, я привел живу.
He's back.
The crooked man.
Да-да-да.
God.
Motherfucker.
Are
What
you
the...
okay? It's been hours.
Ну,
We
а
were
как я
worried you'd run
выгляжу?
into some trouble
Как я выгляжу?
at the Crooked Man's place.
What? Don't I look okay?
I guess you've been worse. You did well, Sheriff. I'm surprised. Not that you did well, but that, you know...
Ну,
I'm just glad you made it back in one piece.
It's about time you showed up. Now throw this asshole down the fucking well.
Yes, what are you waiting for?
You killed Lily!
She was my sister.
Could
What do
you?
you have to say for
Where the
yourself?
fuck do you get off?
Так, пацаны, не давайте по одному
Do this
говорить.
to people?
You're
You're a
fucking
fucking
boy.
crook.
This. You should be
Fucking
ashamed.
shithole.
Everyone, can I have your attention? Thank you all for coming here on such short notice. I know normally we'd schedule a formal hearing, but considering the circumstances, I thought it best if we do this as soon as possible. The Crooked Man is charged with the murder
As
of
I
Faith
already
and...
informed your sheriff, it was Mr. Georgie Porgy who killed those women, not me.
What? It was Georgie?
Georgie.
I don't mean to
Ну, а
interrupt
ты
you,
отдал
Miss
ему
White.
приказ, вот
Georgie
как
may
я
have
говорю.
killed them, but you made the call.
Do I have to explain the situation to you again?
Wait a minute. So you're saying Georgie's the motherfucker who killed my sister?
No
Well,
big
where is he?
Yeah, you're gonna bring that shithead in too, aren't you?
Yes, Sheriff. Where is the rotten scoundrel
Да,
now?
сука, заткнись.
Is he still out there?
I sincerely hope not. Well, where is
Он убийство он заказал,
He was a
я
victim of
говорю
this
вам.
psycho too. He was pushed into the whole thing and now
Так
he's
я
dead.
про это и говорю, что он
What?
dead?
ну,
So you
мертвый.
see, the culprit has been punished. There's no
That
need
doesn't
for
change
this.
anything. We'll deal with it later, but right now you're the one I'm concerned with.
You called the shots. Georgie made that perfectly
Так.
clear.
In which case you still have a lot to answer for.
I
And
was
I
told
don't...
I would be allowed to speak.
We have to read the
Ой, а
rest
что
of the
ты там
charges.
скажешь?
Other charges.
If you'd wait a moment.
I'm well aware
Ну
of
ладно,
the rights
говори,
this
если
one.
хочешь что-то сказать, я не знаю, правда, что он
Go right
скажет.
ahead.
Wait, that's not how this
Да
works.
пофиг, хай что-то скажет, потом выкинем.
After the rest of your crimes are read through, then you will have an opportunity to defend yourself, but only then.
If you insist.
You are charged with the murder of Faith and Lily, which Georgie carried out on your order, inciting violence against various members of the Fabletown community, including the attempted murder of Sheriff Bigby Wolf.
Twice.
A misunderstanding.
Да,
Aiding and providing monetary support for the forced prostitution at the Pudding and Pie. Additionally, you are charged with multiple counts of fraud, extortion, racketeering, and the illegal possession and sale of magical artifacts.
И сопротивлялся аресту.
Arrest.
Oh, yes. Now, is there
Украина так уж и
anything
быть
you would
помолчит.
like to say?
Хотя можно было бы сказать.
First of all, I had nothing to do with Faith and Lily, so you can strike that one from your little record book.
Bullshit! Like hell you didn't.
Stop the charade. We know you're
Come on.
involved.
It's
Ну
obvious.
пусть, хай пусть
Everyone
договорят.
just shut up for a minute.
Пусть договорят.
Wanted a chance to talk? Well, go ahead.
Правильно.
We all know he's
Когда он
guilty.
хочет
What the
сейчас...
fuck does he need to speak for?
Да выкинем его в любом случае,
The
хай
Crooked
базарит.
Man has committed crimes against this government and, most importantly, its citizens. These charges, if proven, are enough to
Просто
justify
хай скажет
death,
пред смертью.
upon which your body will be
Ой,
committed
потом.
to the witching
Where it
ground.
fucking belongs.
That's
So
right.
let's get
but
on
we
with it
promised
then.
you a chance to defend yourself, and I won't rob you of that right.
What the
You're really
fuck?
going to
This
let
is
him
about
talk?
justice. If we're ever going to pull ourselves together and make something of this town,
право
we
есть
have to
право,
start
Виктор.
doing things correctly. No more snap judgments, no more secrets. We are going to treat everyone fairly, even when they don't deserve it.
This is ridiculous.
Ну говори.
You have the floor.
Все, никуда не втычи.
Thank you, Miss White. You've
Хотя
all
подожди, я не
met
понял,
Georgie.
зачем наручники?
I
Это
don't
брать?
have to tell you what
Мог бы в
kind of
наручниках
person
же
he
говорить.
was. He was a total scoundrel, lacking in any sort of moral fiber. I hired him as a favor to his family, you see. A promise kept to a dying mother.
Oh,
Are you gonna
jeez.
get to your point or what?
Georgie was working for me, yes. But he was not acting on my behalf when he killed those women. It was his business. And for whatever reason, I'm sure only he could understand, he murdered 2 of his most faithful employees. I had nothing to do with it.
Tell
This
the
is such
fucking
bullshit.
truth for
You've
once.
always been a
Ну,
bit of
мне
a
как бы да
troublemaker.
другой говорил, да.
Georgie seemed pretty convinced he didn't have a say in the matter.
He clearly misunderstood my intention.
Really?
I would never authorize such an act.
Any of you actually believe this bullshit?
Holly, please.
Tell them, Bigby,
Kind of.
when you finally showed up at my door last night, wasn't I more than helpful? I answered your questions. I was willing to cooperate.
What's he talking about?
Ну, на меня
Yeah,
напали
your
там.
goons attacked me. Did you forget that part?
They get a bit carried away sometimes, it's true. Loyal to the end. They do it because they want to protect me, as I've protected them. You understand wanting to protect what you care about, don't you? You'd do anything. You might even give up an innocent man, just to save someone.
Ну,
I really
больше,
hope
давай
you're
дальше.
going
говори.
somewhere with this.
I see, you want to cut right to the point. I can appreciate that.
Ну, татов,
Let me
допустим,
explain this to you. My employees are just that, hired help. I see some of them are here among you. They are not my slaves. They are all free to make their own decisions, as Georgie was.
What about Lily? She wasn't free. She wasn't given a choice. Do you really think she wanted... that any of those girls wanted their lives like that?
I'm sorry, Holly. I'm sorry that your sister asked me for help, and I'm sorry that I decided against my better judgment to give her a distasteful job.
Right, and you kept them in debt so they couldn't leave.
Yeah. That's what you did to us. How you kept us all in
You
line.
forget it was not me who put you in that position. You all act like I'm some kind of tyrant. When your government abandoned you, left you poor and helpless, sniveling on street corners, I was there to look out for you.
Yes, but
Wasn't I?
Ну, а Крейн?
Crane was the
был,
one
да.
who let this town go to the fucking dogs. The guy who was in your pocket, remember?
Really?
Да.
What about Auntie Greenleaf? Her story is not uncommon. She left everything she had back in the homelands. Everything that matters, anyway. With nowhere else to turn, she came to me for help. And what did I do for you?
You got my tree back.
I got her tree back, and in turn we used her magic to help poor Fables get glamours. Because I helped her, she was able to make a living, provide for herself. And what did they do?
For the longest time, not much, but they asked me to come work for them.
Really? The new deputy mayor wants you on the 13th floor?
No. The wolf offered me the job. She wanted my tree destroyed. If she had her way, I'd be hung out to dry on a clothesline by now.
Так не увидишь дерево.
you were gonna burn her tree? Snow, why would you want that?
Is that true?
Ну, она не
Don't
совсем
blame
нова.
Snow, she had her reasons. Greenleaf
Ну, так
was
свои.
using her magic to help Crane and the Crooked Man. That's why Snow wanted your tree
That's
burned.
not why.
It wasn't her fault.
You can lie to yourself, but you can't lie to
Причины,
me.
причины.
You hated Crane, and you hated him for wanting to fuck you, and you being too soft to notice what he'd do to get it. It had nothing to do with a crooked man.
We've made some mistakes. I've made some mistakes. But believe me, I truly want what's best for this town. And that may not always be clear right away. But I want you all to know that I care deeply about all of you. And so does the sheriff.
Yeah, right.
I can't promise you perfection. No one can. But I can
Ну,
promise
мы
to
стараемся,
always have your
так
best
скажем.
interests at heart.
Maybe you haven't noticed, but we've been doing all this to protect you. We're trying to stop people like him.
The Crooked Man's been exploiting you. Exploiting your hope for a better life. You would go to him for help. And he would take that weakness and add it to his strength.
Ну, да, да,
Do you
хоть так, да.
really think the Crooked Man cared about you? He just cared about your money. He cares about your obedience.
They're right.
You're all still afraid of him, even now. But you needn't be. His contamination of this town is over. And those girls will have their
Ну-ка.
justice.
Даже она согласилась, нифига себе. Даже бабка зацик.
Very good, very good. The sentiment is surely appreciated, Miss White. But it doesn't disguise the fact that these accusations are completely unfounded. The sheriff simply doesn't have a particle of evidence linking me to the
Georgie was working for you. Bigby got
Это
a
разом
confession.
действительно.
confession that nobody heard.
Ой,
Now,
никто не слышал.
I'm no barrister, but I think such a statement would carry more weight if Bigby weren't the only one to whom Georgie spoke, especially given Bigby's history.
What are you talking about?
Snow?
А насчет
What
твоего
about your
прошлого?
history? All you've
Кстати, а
done to
насчет
this
твоего, да.
fucking town.
What do you mean there's no evidence?
Maybe he's... I mean, this doesn't feel right, how we're doing this. I just
Of
need...
course it's right. This man tormented all of you for profit. Georgie
Let me
killed
just
him.
make sure I understand you. You're trying to say that I'm responsible for what Georgie did, because he was working for me at the time, yes?
Ну твой работник же.
Of course.
Да, ты ответственный.
Yes, you're responsible.
Он же на тебя работает, значит, чуть за него
Well, by
отвечаешь,
that
как
logic,
бы.
Miss White should be on trial for Tweedledum's murder, since you know Bigby works for her.
That's...
He killed a man.
That don't make him a murderer.
Ну это было ради
Fuck's sake,
правосудия.
killing someone who's trying to kill you is
They
hardly...
were there to retrieve Crane. You didn't need to escalate things.
Me. It was them. And who sent those two freaks anyway?
Bigby and I have already discussed his behavior that night. We're handling it
Now, where
internally.
have I heard that before? How about the way he treated poor Tweedledee when he was in your custody? He was beaten to mashed
Бедный,
apples
да
while
богатый
under
он.
your watch.
Under my watch.
Maybe he's right.
Did you think we'd all just let that go?
You can't be serious.
Сейчас тебя
You're
сует, ты
the
что-то
one
не
on
путаешь, а?
trial here. Don't try to turn this around on us.
Действительно.
Besides, Crane
Это
was
уже
still
отдельно.
deputy mayor when that happened. Right before
Начало с
you
тобой, а
decided to
там уже
kidnap
это
him.
удели уже тебе
It
там
was for
не
his own
относится.
protection.
Не особо. Кочет.
Oh, you're right, dear. Crane was in charge. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference.
Видишь, ничего.
That's enough.
So, you won't answer for your employees' behavior, but I must perish for
This
mine.
is completely different.
I
We
did
all...
not
Это
order
разные
those two
темы.
girls dead. It's simply never
Ну ты отвечаешь за своего сотрудника,
Georgie
который я
killed
говорю.
Faith and Lily. End of story.
Так.
They want to scapegoat me for their own tangled ends, but they refuse to answer for their own
This
crimes.
isn't right.
Oh, please.
This isn't the point.
We'll deal with them after we deal with you.
Давайте успокоим.
Everyone calm down. This isn't
I
the
mean, a
reason we're
certain level
here.
of privilege should be afforded to
To who?
This is how it's always been.
This is what I'm talking about. We lashed our ropes to this diseased world, and ever since, which one of us has been there for you? Who filled your lives with the promise of more? Who was there while they idly played in their towers, judging you, treating you as mindless children, too stupid to command your own destiny? Without me, who will pay your rent when you're on the verge of eviction? Who will dare challenge their brutality when it leaks to our dear citizens? Who will protect you from the big bad wolf? Who will be the...
Bigby? Miss White!
Опа, здрасте.
Excuse me,
I-
dear.
I wanted to make sure I had the chance to say something.
Why don't you take a moment to catch your breath, little one?
What's she doing here?
Ну пусть
I'd
говорит.
like to... I need to say something.
We're kind of in the middle of something.
Ну пусть говорит.
Of course. Go right ahead.
You probably don't remember me. I don't know why I was afraid to come
My
here.
dear, I don't
Just
know
shut
what
up. You enslaved us for years. Let us hear stories about what you do. Told us we would lose everything if we stepped just one toe out of line. And we couldn't say a word about it because of these damn ribbons. But you know what? Now it's my turn to talk.
How are you?
I found Vivian's body. Did you kill her? Did he?
Sheriff, this is highly irregular.
Be quiet.
We need to establish some order here.
Ну, можно считать.
He might as well have.
I'm sorry, I don't think I know
Narissa.
your-
My name is Narissa.
It's okay, my dear. It's going to be just...
He ordered them dead. This fucker. Faith and Lily.
That's a lie.
I was in the
Вот типа
goddamn
говорит он
room
ложь.
when he did it. Faith and Lily are dead because of you. The only two people who ever gave a
Ну мы
damn
знаем,
about
что
me.
случилось.
We know what happened.
He made Georgie do it. It was always him. Georgie would have never done anything without his say-so. Ever.
You're going to take the word.
А вот и улика, как
5 other
говорится.
girls will back me up on this. We all heard you say it.
Во! Я об этом говорю, что приказ, вот.
Looks like we found our evidence.
Да, вот и улика, вот что ты спалил.
He's guilty.
Good enough for me.
Me too.
Вот видишь?
So that's it, right?
Throw him down the witching well.
No, that's too fucking easy for a crook like that.
What do you mean?
He's gotta pay for what he did.
Listen to yourselves!
You're all rats, fleeing from one sinking ship to the next. So quick to latch onto whatever will keep your miserable lives afloat. This is how you want to repay all I've done for you.
What, you take two people's lives away and now you want mercy?
You know we can't let you
Ну а
go
чего
free
ты
after this.
ожидала?
What did you expect to happen here? You're getting what you deserve.
Well done, then.
Now, for your sentence.
We
Так,
don't
да,
have to
приговор.
become murderers.
What are you talking about?
He's guilty. I know that, but we don't have to kill anybody. We
Блин,
can
ну боюсь,
imprison
убийство это
him, lock
слишком
him up
легкое.
forever, somewhere he
Легкое
can never
наказание.
hurt anyone again.
How can we be sure he won't escape?
I can help. We'll use magic.
That's
I
not
assure
good
you.
enough.
Maybe
There will
she
be
has a
more
point.
if he isn't
Hasn't
stopped.
there been
I
enough
don't give a
bloodshed
shit.
So we
already?
get rid of him.
А это они все подряд
We can
говорите.
send him away.
Everyone, listen up!
Не толпой говорите.
Clearly, we're having trouble agreeing on a suitable punishment. So I
This
think
is going nowhere.
someone needs to make a decision.
Who?
I hope you answer
Давай-ка
this to
проголосуем,
yourself.
что ли?
We should have a vote. Make it democratic.
Do you really think that's going to work?
He's right. Nobody can agree on anything.
What about Bigby?
Так все
What about
проголосуем.
him?
He was appointed. He's the only official representative, really. He should be the judge.
Давайте-то я не буду
That makes
голосовать, а вы
sense
все
to me.
проголосуете.
I guess it does.
Okay.
А, так подожди, так вы решили,
Are
чтобы
you
я...
sure? This isn't how
It's
it's...
what the people want, Miss White.
Okay, Mr. Wolf, it's your call.
Так, моя наказать. Как...
Just do
Опач.
what you think is right.
Ох, ох. Сейчас выберу. Сейчас я, блядь, выберу.
Yes, Sheriff. Do what you think is right.
Teach him a fucking lesson.